So I figured I'd make a video on this subject, what not to do with this welder. Maybe this might help some of you guys that are having problems with it. Let's just talk about them one at a time real quick, and we'll just talk about what not to do. Do not try and weld running this thing on a generator. More than likely, even with an inverter generator, you're going to burn up the electronics inside it. This is an inverter unit. They have a lot of electronics inside. More than likely, if you run it off a generator, it's going to be a bad day. It will probably cause a problem for the unit. Again, these are my opinion. You can agree with them, not agree with them, and I'd love to see your comments either way. Do not roll this hose up tight. I'll show you how it should be done. If you're finding yourself coiling this thing up and sticking it back inside there, I would not recommend doing that. I leave it very, very loosely around the unit, because what happens is it gets a kink in here and you will be, that's not something to do either. But yeah, don't drop the wand. Don't treat it like it's made out of glass, or it's, treat it like it's just, it is super fragile. If you kink that line, it'll go bad too. Do not ever step on this with your foot. Don't step on it. Don't drive over it with a cart. Don't run a cart over it. Do not do that. Do not expect that all these settings that are on here are going to be exactly for you. I found that I need to turn up my heat and my wire speed quite a bit, or I need to turn up my heat a little bit and my wire speed quite a bit from these settings. Do not just adjust this once and figure that this pressure setting is going to be the same all the way through a tank of gas. Every single time I've set this welder all the way through a tank of gas, I've had to reset this every time I use it. So I check, pull the trigger once, make sure it's at 15, and keep readjusting it through the tank. By the time I get to the end of the tank, I've got a completely different setting than when I started the tank. Otherwise, you will use up tons of gas. Do not forget to change your positive and negative if you're using flux core wire. For gas, negative should be ground, positive should be to the unit. Flux core is the opposite. Do not use the incorrect tip size on this thing. You'll find that if you use like a 030 with 025 wire, it's going to be really spitty. Your welds are going to be crappy, and you're going to be thinking there's something wrong with it, but it's actually the tip needs to be replaced. If the tips wear out on these things, the same thing happens. As soon as they start to get too large of an orifice, it starts to burn the wire off before it gets to the puddle, and you'll start to have weird issues, and it starts to kind of feel poppy, like it also feels the same as if you have a kink in your line, very similar to that. So do not forget to change the tip. I would not buy it without getting the warranty, because I would just take it down and get a new one every year. That's just me. Of course, these things are just my opinion. And like I said, you can choose to listen to them or not listen to them. It's all up to you. But there's just a few things that's just trying to help you maybe get through some of your problems maybe you're having with your welder, or maybe you're realizing that the problems aren't really the welder, it might be the user and just what your settings are. So I decided to make this real quick video for you. I'd like to see your comments either way. If you've got any more not suggestions, there's probably some funny ones down there. Make some comments, and I would love to hear what you have to say about it. It's really, to me, this is a great welder for the money. I haven't seen one that I liked better or thought was better for the same price or similar price. And it does a pretty nice job of welding if you've got your settings right. But, if you get your settings wrong, you might be in for a world of hate, and I also would recommend cleaning your metal a little bit, at least quite a bit, more than you would with a 220 welder. You might be able to weld through some garbage with a 220 welder, but this thing's a little more sensitive. these 110 units are a little bit more sensitive to clean metal. This one seems to go through a little bit of dirty metal versus like the 125, Harbor Freight, what's it called, Chicago Electric one. You know, it happens. Everything's got to be super clean with that thing, or you're still gonna have, you're probably gonna have to turn it up all the way just to weld sheet metal with it. So you'll find issues with that. But anyway, I'd love to see your comments on it. Maybe do not buy one. No, I don't know. Whatever. You could probably buy a more expensive welder. But the way I weighed this out is, look, you know, if you get the warranty, you buy it. Okay, you can replace it once a year with the warranty, and usually they don't ask any questions. And and more than likely you're going to have issues with the wand. I've already had to return one of them because of that. The torch started getting wire stuck in it, and it started kinking up and causing issues here. And all it took was just a little bit of movement on the, a little bit too far of a kink, by trying to reach a little bit too far by kinking it right here. That's all it took, just a little bit too much. So I can't even tell you, treat that thing very carefully. And it's really not a bad welder for the money. There might be other ones that are good, but I found a lot of them. Stay away from those welders that have the 1, 2, 3, 4 switch and just the one knob for the wire. Those things are usually, they're usually made by they're basically a Chicago Electric reboxed, and I've seen them Cornwell, I've seen them all different types of welders, but it's basically the same guts, I bet. So anyway, that's my opinion. All right, I'll talk to you next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.